Birkin injected himself with the G-Virus. There's nothing you can do. Get out of here and make a full report to management.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
I lost the sample. I'm going back for it.
If I could sum up the entire experience that you would get with Operation Raccoon City just in a sentence, it would be the William Birkin boss fight that they attempted to do right here is basically everything that's wrong with Operation Raccoon City. Slant Six Games tries to use the iconic imagery of Resident Evil 2 in this sort of prequel-esque game and just filter it through generic-ass video game stuff that happened to be popular at the time, rather than stick to, if anything else, the original tone and mechanics of Resident Evil 2. Instead, we get this Gears of War knockoff that's just wearing the skin of Resident Evil 2, and that's why the game sucks. Is that it tried to do this alternate history thing of Resident Evil 2. Honestly, it had a lot of potential. It tries to do this alternate history thing where things get really fucked over by this cast of new quote-unquote characters, and so they fight things like the Saboteur from Resident Evil 3, William Birkin, possibly the Gravedigger, but maybe not. And it just ends up with shit like this. Like, what the hell do you even want me to say about it? It's barely a boss fight. The only reason we're doing a video about it is that this is the only encounter we get with William Birkin. Whereas in Resident Evil 2, the game that this one is quote-unquote trying to be, we had 6. We had 6 encounters with this guy in one game. Operation Raccoon City made 15 years at least after that game's release. Can't even do the one, and can't even do it correctly, because rather than build a boss fight for it, it was just running away from him and shooting at him a little bit. We didn't actually do anything to damage him. We didn't get in his way. We didn't really do anything to or with him. He was barely a part of the game at all, other than, oh, we had this asset, let's just throw it in somehow. Like, they could have taken out the William Birkin thing and replaced him with literally anything. Hell, they could have gone completely creatively bankrupt and just had us running away from a fucking giant boulder that somehow rolls through the hallway, and it still would have had the same damn effect. Like, William Birkin could have been just a kill-happy robot. He could have been a giant teddy bear wielding 7 knives that got possessed by the ghost of a serial killer. And it would have been exactly the same thing. And that's what's disappointing about this, and telling of the game overall, is that they had the license to use all this creative stuff, and yet they're filtering it through so much modern game crap that it just completely falls flat on its face. We didn't defeat William Birkin, we barely had a boss fight with him. All we did was running away from an exploding hallway while he was tailing us behind. And then we do the usual thing where we have to wait for the door to open, and then it opens way too early for William Birkin to actually catch up and be the threat that he's trying to be. He's that fucking slow. And then in the middle of it, there's just a bunch of generic chest-high wall shootouts that we're used to from the last 7 years of game development. It's tired, it's boring, it doesn't do anything. And frankly, it's embarrassing that Capcom gave these newbie developers the full license to do whatever the hell they wanted with Resident Evil 2's iconic characters and places. And yet, this is all they can come up with. This is the extent of their creativity with this creativeness. Yeah, don't expect a glowing review at the end of this series.